Today is January 31st, 2011, and I just wanted to talk really quickly about the Navy SEAL Challenge Program. I was in the Navy back in 2004, and I tested for the Navy SEAL Challenge Program and got into the Navy SEAL Challenge Program, and then passed the physical exam, and then went on to but anyway, I basically wanted to give some tips to people out there who are looking to take this path in the military. Navy SEALs is one of the toughest and one of the most demanding jobs or programs, whatever, and it really benefits people to be a little bit prepared. For me, I looked up everything I could online before I went, and I found out what the prerequisites would be. You basically in boot camp would have to do a swim test, a run, push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups, all back to back. And so basically, at some point during your time in boot camp, they pull your division for when I think you're doing. They may have changed it. Like, this was 6 or 7 years ago that I was in the military, so they're always evolving. So they might have changed it, but they basically pull your division out, and they ask who wants to try for special operation programs, Navy SEALs, search and rescue, EOD, blah 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 blah. You know, you raise your hand or whatever, and they pull you out, and then they take you into the separate pool area or whatever. First thing is a swim. I think in general they first just have people do like a brief swim to see how you are and test your breathing and whatever, and then they give you a number, and then if they call your number out, then you stay and do some of the rest of the shit. But the actual test is a 500-meter swim, not yards, 500 meters. That's the difference. It's a little bit longer than 500 yards, I think. I'm not mathematically, I'm challenged. So, but from what I remember, it was not the same. Which basically is you got a 50-meter long pool, and you're swimming 10 laps. So if you do a 25-yard pool like the other way, then you do like obviously twice as much. But anyway, it's the 50-meter, and you're doing 10 laps, which is a pain in the ass. So that's first, the 500-meter swim. You can only use the breaststroke and or side stroke. Once that's done, if you passed, then you move on to the I think it's the sit-ups first, or the push-ups. Sit-ups and push-ups. You have to do, I think, a minimum of 42 push-ups in 2 minutes and 50 sit-ups in 2 minutes. That sounds easy doing the shit fresh. But after you've just done a 500-meter swim, and I mean, you have to give your all, because I mean, I think the time limit for SEALs is, I want to say 11 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 30 seconds, I'm not sure. But for SWCC, Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewmen, I think it's a little bit less. It's like maybe a little bit more, like 30 minutes, 11 minutes and 30 seconds, or 12 minutes, or 11 minutes, I don't know, whatever. Either way, you're swimming hard, and people are kicking you in the face, and you're getting slapped and punched and shit, because there's so many of you in there, and there's no goggles, you can't see. That was another thing that fucked me up, because I was expecting to be able to see some goggles, some shit like that. Nope. So you should probably prepare for swimming without being able to see. Amen. So like the whole time you're just trying to look to see what's happening, and that fucks you up because your head is on the swivel. So you move on to the push-ups and sit-ups, which is no problem for some people. 2 minutes time limit, and then once you pass that, you do the 6 pull-ups minimum. You have to do a minimum of 6 pull-ups. That sounds easy too, but it ain't. Let me tell you one thing: Navy SEALs are not goddamn basketball players. They are not fucking gigantic men. They are not 6 feet tall. Most of them are like around my height, shorter, or maybe a little bit taller. I'm like 5'7". So, as a matter of fact, I think if you're tall, it might work against you. I'm not saying that you wouldn't have a chance, but you got to really be good at managing your own body weight. And a lot of these guys are, short guys, pretty short. So just to let you know, tough and tall are not synonymous. I saw a 6 foot, I think it was like 6'1", 200 something pound dude struggle to do one fucking pull up. It was sad and funny at the same time. He was like, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. It's like, damn, he couldn't do one fucking pull up. He probably thought he was big and bad because, you know, he's 6 feet tall. Yeah, he used to people fucking like bowing down to him all his life or whatever. Whereas little guys like me, we used to fighting for everything and not, you know, getting a whole lot of respect. So we have a little bit more oomph in us. So you do this minimum of 6 pull-ups. You can do as many as you want, but 6 is, I would suggest busting out the 6. Maybe, you know, round it off to like an 8 or some shit if you want to just impress them, but they're not really impressed. Because you go from there and you walk to the track and then you do your 1.5 mile run. The pull-ups, by the way, are not timed. So you do your 1.5 mile run after you do the pull-ups. And that is, now it depends on who you are. Like, I'm not personally a runner, but it's easier for me to do the run than the swim. For me personally, I'll tell you, I failed the test twice. You have 3 chances to pass. I'm doing the European 3. Is this the European 3? Yeah, it's the European 3. 1, 2. No. How do you do the European 3? Oh, like this. 1, 2, 3. Anyway. You have 3 chances. 3 chances to pass the whole stuff. A lot of people don't make it past the swim. Some people don't make it past the pull-ups, and I think everybody does all right on the push-ups and push-ups and sit-ups and run. But the run, I could pace myself. So if the guy is standing on the side, he's yelling at everybody as you pass how much time you got left or whatever, and you know that you're trying to do 6 laps. So if you're on the 2nd or 3rd, whatever, and he yells out, you know, that you got like half the time, and, you know, pick up the pace. So for me, once I passed the swim, then the rest was easy. But I failed the swim like twice. The first time I had like a sinus infection, I had like a fever of like 100 degrees, and I probably technically shouldn't have been in there, but whatever. No, this first time I was getting kicked and shit in the face. Second time I had a fever. The third time, I didn't do the side stroke. I did my best stroke is the breaststroke, and I did that, and I combined the two. I actually combined the breaststroke and the side stroke. Some people refer to that as a combat swimmer stroke. I just did whatever. So basically, like, you should probably be as prepared as possible before going. Just get into that condition. I recommend, but running on the beach in the soft pack sand. Be prepared to test a lot. Like, it doesn't stop at boot camp. You go boot camp and you take the test, and then after you qualify, you have to go to dive motivation every morning or whatever, with your group, whoever else is in your SPEC Ops shit. And that's more training. They just train y'all, you know, whatever, and just to keep you in that type of shape. Then you go to your school training and you have dive motivator there, and they test you there also before you graduate to make sure you still can pass the qualification. Then once you graduate from your school and you go to the actual SPEC Ops training in Coronado or in Buds or whatever, basic underwater demolition SEAL training, then you get tested again. Yay. And yeah, it's a bitch. He's constantly being tested to make sure you can pass the qualification test. Don't let I'm getting ahead of myself, but don't let the mind games and shit fool you, because they'll try to fuck with your mind, but whatever. So I recommend, if you can't swim, like me personally, I couldn't swim. Yeah. So I had to learn how to swim. I took a course at Santa Monica College here in California on swimming. And I worked really hard, and I was able to make the time, obviously. And the other stuff I could do, you know, no problem. I was always like a natural, athletic, or physically fit person. So I recommend, if you know what your weakness is, work on that shit. Pull-ups, I know that's hard for a lot of dudes. I would recommend, you know, the gym that has the assisted pull-ups kind of thing, where like the weight helps lift you a little bit. Start out with that. Until you can do, you know, a decent amount. Combine that with the the inverted pyramid. What was it called? The hypoxia pyramid or inverted? Whatever. It's like the shit where like you first do 1, then you do 1, 2, then you do 1, 2, 3, then you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like do that too. Like combine that shit, and then whatever, with the pull-ups. That'll help you increase the amount of pull-ups you can do. Guaranteed, because that shit worked for me. I started out being able to do 6, but then by the time I was finished, I was able to do like 25 pull-ups or something. Max. So I recommend that. If you have any questions, you can email me at my blog or whatever, and I'll answer any questions. I was there. I was at Bud's. I know all the crap that they could probably put you through or whatever. Mostly, I know more about the training stuff or whatever. The stuff that's like probably the hardest stuff to get through, probably. So, just trying to give information out. I'm not advocating war or violence or nothing like that. Some people are determined to challenge themselves and take these sort of paths. And me personally, I'd rather help you and you be prepared than not. Like I was decently prepared, but I know a lot of guys went in there and know what the fuck was going on. Like one dude I know, he went in there and he went, I don't know what he was thinking, he couldn't do one, like not the other dude, but there was another guy who could only do like 3 pull-ups. So I was like, you didn't know? Shit, you should have trained ahead of time. What the fuck were you thinking? So yeah, if you have any questions, just email me at my blog, nevadawolf1.blogspot.com, and yeah, I'll answer any questions you have. All right, so good luck and good training to you.